That is the sound of a distracted, divided, and dead American until they hear. Battle for freedom, triggering change, one heartbeat at a time. Hello, everyone. This is Watson Prene with Battle for Freedom on Mojo50 Radio, and I'm glad that you're joining me today as we get through what seemed as the dark ages for a lot of people who are trying to make sense of this crazy weather that is inundating this country and inundating this world. Again, I'm your host, Watson Prene from Battle for Freedom on Mojo50 Radio. And as we get through this broadcast today, as I struggle to connect my brain and connect everything, you think that we're in the dark ages right now, trying to connect and make certain that we are awake. Let's talk about being awake, and that is actually starting off with some American Pride Roasters coffee.
That's it. I've hit the snooze button a dozen times, and now I have to finally get going. But I'm not going to do this day right if I don't start it off with a cup of American Pride Roasters coffee, the official coffee of Mojo50 Radio. But I'm not going to lie to you. They have a wide variety of blends, but I'm leaning towards the one that's named after me, Watson's White Chocolate Caramel. You know what? It sounds as good as those words that just rolled off of my mouth. Listen, get it today. AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Tell them that Watson from Battle for Freedom sent you, and you want Watson's White Chocolate Caramel blend to start your day off. Join American Pride Roasters Coffee and Mojo50 Radio, and most important, Battle for Freedom, as we celebrate the best coffee in the nation. American Pride Roasters.
Yes, American Pride Roasters, share with as many people as you possibly can. And not only that, I want you to go through a lot of people who are needing some power right now. And right now, I bet you that they had some Patriot Energy. PatriotEnergyAZ.org, PatriotEnergy.az.org is probably the only way that there are people who are in the midst of all this total blackout that's affecting at least, and I'll talk about the numbers of people being affected by this, but at near 5 million people or more are blanketed without power as there's a complete whiteout covering this nation on here. Not American Pride Roasters, but you want to go to Patriot Energy, call 602-721-6717 for a free quote. Listen, this is how you make certain that you will be able to endure in these dark times. You got to have that right energy. You got to be plugged into the right source of energy. When everything else is dark, you need to be a light. Yes, there's a double entendre there. That is the fact that I could sit here and talk about the idea that it is being plugged into the light of God, being plugged into God right now in the midst of the darkness, because that's the only way that you're going to get through all the craziness that's out there. Again, my name is Watson Prene. My website is Battle4Freedom.com. I want you to go there, and I want you to share it out with as many people as you possibly can. And some people, they decided that they wanted to go to Mojo50.com and basically interact. They're going to go to Mojo50.com. That's how you get a chance to learn all the different shows that are available to you. But they also decided to go to Facebook.com/Mojo50 Radio and share this out with as many people as they possibly can. Folks, it's, I was talking about storm fronts yesterday, but many people are dying, and it's very sad because of the fact that, as Curtis was saying, it's ice on top of the snow. I spent a lot of time outside yesterday shoveling. I just decided, I know one woman that saw me shoveling said, that's a wasted effort. And I was like, yeah, you could probably perceive it as wasted. And it's very interesting that this woman who was basically saying this to me because of the fact that you had, she was walking her dog, and her dog is from Texas, and she has relatives in Dallas, Texas right now who are she has relatives that are dealing with power outages, and it's really sad. And she says they're not prepared down there. One relative had to just pick up and go to the other relative's house, but they have no way of dealing with what's going on out there. It's very, very difficult for people to function. Good morning, Brian, Carolyn, Heidi, Renee, Linda, Curtis, Lisa, Brenda, and Lep. Thank you for being part of this. I don't know where many of you are right now. I think Curtis is like New York. I know some other people were in North Carolina. Please, wherever you are, be safe and try not to feel invincible and go out in the middle of the snow and get yourself killed because of the fact that you did not want to prepare. Also, another one to consider right now is I bet you with the people who have basically lost the power. Here you go. This is what it's feeling like. It's probably feeling like Armageddon right now.
When the world is going to hell in a handbasket, you need rugged. You need strong. You need durable. You need cat coolers. These are the best coolers on the market in 27, 55, and 88 quart. Go to catcoolers.com and give them the code Watson to save 10% on your purchase. Don't settle for those substandard containers that melt, leak, and destroy your memorable moments. Tell them that Watson from Battle4Freedom sent you. Cat coolers.
Yes, cat coolers. Send it out with as many people as you possibly can, because of the fact that this is exactly how we turn around and we make a difference on helping people. Because if your things are not spoiled and your neighbors need to eat, guess what? This is how we as human beings turn around and we decide that we're going to bless one another when it matters most. A lot of people are starving. A lot of people are wanting. A lot of people are just needing just those basic fundamental supplies. And through Mojo 50, when you basically listen to a lot of the different hosts, you'll hear a lot of the sponsors we have: Patriot Energy, Cat Cooler. You have New Life Holistic, which I'll mention later, as well as American Pride Roasters Coffee, staying warm in the midst of this storm. Again, did not mean to make that rhyme. But as we sit here watching this thing take place, that we have a lot of, there's even suppliers that even provide for you preparation food. That this is how you when you can't get to the store, when you were snowed in and there was like three days of no travel, no possible way, the roads were impassable. This is the reason why when we tell you to prep, when we provide some of these sponsors for you, it's for this very moment. And something I actually want to catch earlier too, that Curtis said, which was very powerful too. He says, if you have a snowblower, clear fire hydrant. Clear fire hydrants, wherever you are, clear them and make it possible that emergency responders can take care of the needs of individuals. If you have a shovel, don't sit there and wait for someone else to do it. Plow the way. I was out and just trying to clear some stuff from my neighbors, and even my neighbors, as their cars were not far from mine, make it possible that I plow away as best as I possibly can. So I was out twice. The first 35, 45 minutes I was out shoveling yesterday, and it was crazy because of the fact that man, I couldn't believe how much snow was out there. And then when it was done, I came in and the girls were just paying attention to my girls as I was trying to get things done yesterday. And they wanted pancakes. So yesterday I made some chocolate pancakes and they gobbled them up and they had a great time. It was a very interesting time for us, having some dinner, and it was well worth it, sticking and having some chocolate pancakes and syrup. And it was a delightful luncheon afternoon after snowing. And then I went back out and did a little bit more in the evening. Unfortunately, one of my other neighbors had he didn't have a snow blower, but he did have a leaf blower, which still, it made enough wind and heat to clear out a lot of stuff to make it a lot easier for everyone. Folks, this is our chance. This is our chance to really show the rest of the world, to show our neighbors that we really aren't a bunch of Neanderthals who have no compassion and no comprehension of doing the right thing. Please do something for your neighbor, because as I look here, and this is something I saw in the Daily Mail, it said that at least 4 dead as winter storms are sweeping across the nation. And I think that was just in the Dallas area. It says that 5 million people were without power. We know that number is larger than you ever can imagine. But the whole idea is that we're entering the dark ages 2021 and, entertaining strong delusions. I think it's entertaining strong delusions is if we have this mentality that, again, we don't have to prep, we don't have to prepare for the worst case scenario. Yeah. Here it is. And I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this here. You know what? Let me do this here. Let me give you the New Life Holistic for a second as I get this book.
Does your mind seem like it often shuts down before it even starts? Sounds like you need to detox to improve your health in body, mind, and spirit. I'd like to tell you about New Life Holistic. It is an amazing therapy process that uses neurofeedback and biofeedback for many issues that ails everyone. New Life's method and approach to health, balance, energy, and vitality is what sets it apart from anything you have experienced ever before. Call 1-833-4-BIO-LIFE and tell them Watson from Battle4Freedom has sent you. One more thing. Give them the code MOJO50 and save $50 off of your first session. The consult is free. New Life Holistic.
New Life Holistic. This is how you get things out to people. You let them know, hey, this is how you recover, because a lot of people are going to be going through some severe things. Darkness is not things that people handle well as they enter the dark ages, but this strong delusion that I'm talking about is this whole idea that we think that we don't have to prepare on this. This book that I've mentioned a couple many months ago that I think that will still help is I've got this 2-volume book called basically Civil Defense Manual. I have volume 1 and also have volume 2 by Jack Lawson. And even as you sit here and you look at the table of contents, and I'm on page 54, but I wanted to try and read to you some of the different things of what you do or how to, Chapter 13, water. Chapter 14, food, cooking, and storage. But where I'm at is actually Chapter 5, area emergencies and catastrophic events. They sit here and it says, it just talks about the whole idea of when you're looking for some, again, many of you said that this was a tinfoil hat mentality. That's exactly what the author said. I love this opening paragraph. He says, this paragraph, consists of definitions, explanations related to this book. I believe you will find my opinions and evaluations eye-opening and interesting. Some sounding improbable and a good deal of them like I wear a tinfoil hat. But as anyone making a decision of logic must do, read this information and consider it like the other information when making your decisions, because they're talking about, what do you do in the event of catastrophic events? He talks about the whole idea of, listen, turning off in area emergencies, turn off your utilities. That you're sitting here like, but we're in a blackout. Well, see, here's the problem that you're going to face. Who knows what the elements outside are doing to everything around you? If we don't have these secondary systems secondary backup systems, solutions of water. What am I going to drink if my pipes are frozen because my pipes are frozen because of the fact that I have no electricity to heat my home, to allow the proper circulation. I can't open my cabinets because of the fact that there's no heat to travel into the cabinets. Pipes are being frozen. I mean, think about the damage of what's being done here. Turn off right now at this particular point. You can say try and let it trickle, but I'm afraid there's going to be some major blow-ups on people's homes. It's going to be a nightmare when these pipes are unfrozen. I mean, I think, did they say it was minus 25 in certain areas in Texas? See, and this neighbor of mine who basically said that she didn't have the power, she said they weren't prepared for this. They weren't prepared. You weren't the. I didn't even know it snowed in. I didn't even know it snowed in Dallas. I didn't even know it snowed in Texas until this one fateful moment when when I was big in my days as a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I mean the Miami Dolphins, and my best friend Jude was a fan. Is a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, and Leon Lett on Thanksgiving Day. I think it was a Thanksgiving Day service football game, and the Dallas Cowboys were basically winning, and it was a field goal kick, and all he had to do was leave the ball alone. And Leon Lett grabbed the ball and made it possible for the Dolphins to win the game. When I saw the Snow Bowl game against the Cowboys and the Dolphins in I think it was like 1991, 1992, I can't remember, but I'll never forget my buddy's expression when Leon Lett did that. So I didn't know that Dallas got snow, but now I do recognize that they get it. Actually, I found out that Dallas is probably one of the worst states to live in if you want to avoid natural disasters, because I think it's 5 or 6 of the 7 natural disasters affects Texas. They get hurricanes, tornadoes, ice storms. Maybe it might be earthquakes is the only thing that Dallas doesn't experience. But every other thing, flooding, you name it, Texas experiences. Yes, the Lone Star State may have some freedoms, carry your guns, and have some nice heat and everything like that. But you also have the sad reality that natural disasters can affect you. Listen, you may think it's still, it's too late now, Watson, I don't need it. Do me a favor, get yourself your copies of Civil Defense Manual Volume 1 and Volume 2 for $100. For $100, listen, you prepare yourself for the worst case scenario by Jack Lawson. Please get yourself Civil Defense Manual, because it talks about these different things that you prepare yourself, because you could get electrocuted. You're operating, you're fiddling around in the dark, and you don't know exactly what you're going to do. This is when those backup generators would have probably been well. This is probably when you could have had some of those heat lamps. Not even heat lamps. You could have oil lamps to get around and navigate and try and figure out what's happening here. Worst case scenario of what's happening, if we are not prepared for the worst case scenario, the worst case is going to happen. And that's happening. That's affecting millions of people around this country. And it's really sad because 21 degrees in Louisiana. Yeah, I don't know if the number was negative 25, but yeah. Well, here's the thing about it. One of my friends actually, my best man's to my wedding, his wife, or I think her sister, posted yesterday that there was like I think it was like a negative 15 or negative 5. I think it was a negative 15 degree wind chill out there in Dallas or where in Texas, wherever they live. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my clock, or my thermometer here in Indiana, and it's 16 degrees with a low of 10. I heard them say on the Daily Mojo that comes on at 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. I think Rocky Stucci, the host of the Situation Room that comes on 10 a.m. They said that he's now down in Texas and said that he brought his weather from Minnesota with him. Folks, being prepared. I belabor this because of the fact that many of us don't think that it's necessary to be prepared. It's too late for me to do it. No, it's never too late. Even having 1 or 2 supplies is better than having none. But if you want to continue to ignore it and live in the dark ages, that's fine. Actually, it kind of gets into scripture passage that I saw today, which was this one. Therefore, God sends them a strong delusion so that they may believe what is false, in order that they may be condemned, that they may be condemned who did not believe. in order that all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. 2 Thessalonians 2:11 and 12. God sends a strong delusion because of the fact that, you know what, you tinfoil hatters, you preppers, you people don't know what exactly what you're talking about. I'm going to spend my money in these different areas. Don't tell me how to live. That's fine. I'm not going to tell you how to live. But here it is now. You're living in the darkness and there is no cover. There's no protection for you. You don't know what to do. Hello? It's pretty bad. It's pretty stinking bad. Lord, please help us. Layers keep you warm. That's right. Hopefully you didn't throw out all your stuff. You may look like, what is it, Joey Tribbiani from Friends, wearing layers and layers of clothes, but you still need to wear layers and layers of clothes. Stop treating this like a vacation and stop treating this like it's a temporary moment. Let's move away from the weather. I'm sure you're tired of me talking about that. And unless you're getting angry by hearing what I'm saying to you and it's warming you up. Here's the other aspect that's really... Here's another aspect I think is really sad when it comes to how people are will treat you because they don't like the decisions that you make in your life. So you have this politician, Kinzinger. His family decides that they want to disown him because of the fact that he voted in favor of the impeachment of Donald J. Trump. It didn't work. Donald Trump was acquitted again. But see, here's the thing about it that we're going to have to run into. People have to make their own decisions. And as much as we may not like it, as much as I found it really interesting. My buddy Jude, he is a Rangers fan. For New York, he's a New York Rangers fan. I was a New York Islanders fan. And what was really interesting, we never got this physical. We never got this violent, even in our tit for tat between being Cowboys and Dolphins fans. But we knew that, if you were in Madison Square Garden, there would be fights that would break out between Islander and Ranger fans. Because you can't talk about my team like this. And it's really amazing how far we'll go to, what's the phrase, fisticuffs? Because we don't like what other people are saying? I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are you seriously getting that angry and willing to hurt somebody, even disown somebody, just because of the fact that you don't agree with their opinions? Disowning is very extreme. Is very extreme because they voted against Trump. I mean, if you want to really deal with understanding how bad things can be, try being a Muslim or a Jew who converted to Christianity. You get seriously disowned in this. You get seriously disowned. The Muslims will try and kill you if you don't convert back. And the Jews your Jewish family will have a funeral for you because they see you as no longer important or alive to them. But to sit here and disown somebody because they voted against Trump, again, it's disappointing that Sass and many of the others decided that they wanted to vote in favor of Donald Trump's impeachment, but to disown. This is where I think that this is really sad because there's this love and there's this draw towards political partisanship that really divides us. We already have many other different things to divide us. Don't make a president another one. Don't make your adulation for Donald Trump or even Joe Biden another reason to have differing opinions and just hate and despise somebody. Because you have to really hate someone to want to disown them. Staten Island, hey, Kathy. Yeah, we have fights between the boroughs. Yes, most definitely. But I just because it even gets worse now because now they're voting to censor 3 Republicans because they voted against Donald Trump in the impeachment. That's dumb. As much as you may not agree with their decision, it is their right. This is the dark ages, folks. We complain about the left telling us that we must comply. The right's doing it right now as well, too. And if you support it, you support the abomination that's taking place in our country right now. I'm your host, Watson Prunier from Battle for Freedom. Let's go to a break, and I'll talk to you on the flip side.
Warning. The next 2 minutes will be without music. Why? Because someone in a third world country decided to copyright open source, or basically royalty-free music. Right now, you would probably be listening to soothed sounds of elevator music. But no, I got a warning that music is copywritten. So you will have to listen to my voice for the next minute and 30 seconds. Why? Because I haven't come up with something unique for you to listen to. Now, in this time, while you've been mesmerized by my voice, I hope you would have taken the advantage to go make yourself another pot of American Pride Roasters coffee, or go to the potty break, or take a potty break. Because when we get back, I will keep you enraptured with my wit and my silliness. And I hope that your bladder will be forgiving to you if you do not go now. 1 minute left. That's how much time you have to quickly use the restroom and wash your hands. Remember, 20 seconds for scrubbing to make certain that you get rid of the Rona and anything else that could make you sick. Now, it's about 40 seconds left, and I still have the feeling that you're not going anywhere because you just want to hear what I'm going to say. If you soil yourself, it's your fault. I gave you the opportunity. Less than 30 seconds left. Now you've lost the proper window of washing your hands after using the restroom. What are you going to do now? Are you just going to sit there and wait to hear what I have to say? Guess what? We're almost 10 seconds away. Are you really prepared to go the distance? Well, I really appreciate your tenacity. Battle for Freedom is back now.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Watson Prunier from Battle for Freedom on Mojo 50 Radio, and I'm glad that you are following me. Listen, you can go to mojo50.com and listen to all the other different shows that are available to you if you do this. When you go there, I want you to do a couple of things, because there's a couple links I need you to click when you go to Mojo 50. First, I want you to click subscribe. Sign up. They won't spam you. Trust me. I assure you they will not spam you if you sign up and get a lot of details, different shows that are available to you. And also you can, sometimes if you want to disconnect from Facebook and still want to watch some of the shows that stream via video, you have Mojo 50 TV. While you're there, also want you to do me a favor. I want you to click the shop button, buy something while you're there. And maybe you may not like the gifts or the things that they have in the shop, but you can click the donate button and it'll be available to you. But if you just want to know which shows are on the network and what time they go on, click the schedule button. Before today, if you were listening this live today on Tuesday, you would listen to the Pat Oney show before Battle for Freedom. There's a wide variety of shows that you can listen to. Again, go to the schedule button, Mojo 50, and also my website, Battle4Freedom.com. Share it out with as many people as you possibly can. So as we sit here talking about the dark ages 2021, because if you would think that 2020 was the dark out, thanks Tim and Carrie and Renee for joining, and Kathy as well. The whole idea, if you thought 2020 was the blackout, if you thought 2020 was the dark ages with lockdowns and viruses, you would be very, very sorry because of the fact that this is very, very insane and crazy as we sit here worrying about. It would just be very, very crazy and insane for us to see what 2021 is going to be like. Let's get further back into this. Entertaining strong delusions as we are here. So we ran into this problem. We ran to this situation where we were talking about, they're censoring Republicans right now, and because they decided that they wanted to vote to convict Trump, and I was talking about that before going to the break. It's really dumb. You know what? Instead of censoring them, like how the Democrats tried to censor Trump, the Republicans are doing the same exact thing, proving that the Republicans and Democrats are really not that different. Anyone who votes for the censoring of any candidate, I don't care if you want to, even if you want to censor Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, let her make her decisions. She has that right. She has been elected into that position. Now, when she violates the Constitution, then let's have an issue with this. But this idea that I don't like you because you didn't vote the way that I want to, that's childishness. That's Dark Ages mentality. That's entertaining the strong delusion that your way is the perfect way and not doing your way. That whole my way or the highway mentality. Yes, Kathy, there are progressives on both sides. It's just, oh. Let's get away from politics for a second. Trust me, I'll be back there in a minute. You can't have this show or even this network without politics. Although there are some shows that uniquely can manage a way to give you great data. Yeah, you know what? You can basically follow Mighty Oaks on Saturday. They do some amazing things on helping people and soldiers, particularly, who need some help and guidance. As well as you have Gwen Rich that sits here and talks about health, and she comes on 11 a.m. and talks about those unique things that you can do to make certain that your health is well, taking care of your body when others don't want to do it. She has amazing stories. Take a listen to Gwen Rich. Just very powerful stuff. But let's get back to this whole idea that Oregon is investigating 4 cases of fully vaccinated people now testing positive and having symptoms for COVID. They didn't go through 1 shot. They went through 2 shots. And now, yeah, I said 2. So my finger tried to flip out there. They went through 2 shots, and now all of a sudden they are having complications, and they're having these symptoms of COVID that never should have happened in the first place. Of course, it will come out that there's a new strain out there, and Moderna and every last one of them and Pfizer couldn't completely address that narrative that we keep hearing, the 40 to 60% accurate or, flu vaccines, that now you're going to find out that even though they report 95% of the people who get the shots will be free from the problems, they're going to find out that those numbers were a lie, just like Mario Cuomo's numbers on the deaths of senior citizens from the nursing homes. You're going to find out that they said 95%. We're going to find out that there was a small pool of people who were tested in that environment that said that they would survive, 95% survival rate of those who took the vaccine. We're probably going to find out that number is probably closer to Mitt Romney's 47%. It's probably closer to Mitt Romney's 47%. Okay? I'm not a doctor. And I'm just making an educated tinfoil guess. What I'm thinking that number's closer to 47. Mitt Romney's 47%. Yeah, you people keep remembering that. Those who want to hate on Romney. You love him now that he's hating on Trump, but you didn't like it when he said 47%. Yeah. Bush lied. People died. Oh, Bush hates Trump. Yay! He's such a good and holy man. I'm telling you, you're going to sit there and you're going to hear the words, "Depart from me, I never knew you." Because of the fact that we are so wish-washy on our indignation against things that are wrong, but we are only indignant when it benefits us. No. Be indignant against wrong, even when it is our own wrong, and we call out the inconsistencies in our lives, in our parties, in our friends, family, and even in our country. Be consistent on doing that, because it's only entertaining a strong delusion when the only people who are wrong are the people who don't support you. More data is going to come out. More data is going to come out. I'm telling you, I'm not laughing about the people being vaccinated. I know that people have needed a sense of security, and for some people, for the people that it works and it helps, praise God. And for the ones who are going to be severely affected because you took the vaccine, I'm praying for you. I'm not laughing at you. You experience hardship, then that you completely are not paying attention to who I am and what I'm trying to say here. I am praying for your safety. I am praying that you will not experience a lot of the physical ailments and some of the severe ailments. Some have died because of this vaccine. I'm praying that you're not a victim of that. But people are putting their trust in the sciences, and the sciences have always been shaky, morally shaky at best. Ethically challenging at best. Willing to accept the idea of collateral damage, double-blind studies. This is the science. It says we're willing to accept that some people will die if it means the overall greater mass, the greater population survives. If we're willing to sacrifice a few lives to basically get this. Here it is now before on Inauguration Day, because let's apply your logic. Inauguration Day, it was 400,000 who died because of COVID-19. Now we're up to 485,000. And you know what? I bet you that the people who died because of the storm will not die because of COVID. I bet you the people who die now, I bet you the reporting agencies for COVID-19 deaths will be more strict, that the numbers will decline of people dying because of the fact that we had to build up the numbers of people who died from COVID-19 last year. So that a lot of you who are in the strong delusion, believing that right is wrong and wrong is right, we're going to find out that those numbers are going to miraculously plummet. It seemed like the way that they were reporting the news, that you had nearly 50,000 people dying a week, the way that the news were reporting it. And here it is, we're a month later, and we barely have 100,000 dead. I'm not celebrating the lives that are dead, but are we going to blame Joe Biden for this? Are we going to basically say it's Joe Biden's fault for the people who died? Because he's president now. He's president. He's president. Let me go to this other one too, because Kamala Harris keeps saying we're starting from scratch. We're starting from scratch. They can't even stop lying to us. And if they're lying now about what was going on, if they're lying now about what's going on with the vaccines, what else are they lying about? If they're lying, saying that we're starting from scratch right now on helping American people, even though former President Donald J. Trump had an excellent system on deploying and these countermeasures, these vaccines to as many people as he possibly can. They ridiculed him for his high level of numbers that he sought. But even Fauci, flip-flop Fauci, is saying, no, folks, you're not starting from scratch. You already had a jumping board to take off from to continue trying to vaccinate American citizens who are willing to take the vaccine. If you're in a strong delusion, if you are going to believe that Donald Trump did not give them the because you didn't want to hear the fact when he talked about that Barack Obama didn't fill the tills, that Barack Obama didn't set the programs up to make certain that these states would have all the supplies that they need. So if you're going to start believing now that Donald Trump left Joe Biden wanting in the supplies that he needed to actually save American lives, we're in a strong delusion. Let's move away from this for a second. We'll come back to that in a minute. There's this article. There's some woke teachers who are deciding to cut out Shakespeare's work in their teaching because of the fact that they're tired of his white supremacy colonization method. So they're teaching these kids Marxism in school because they don't want to talk about white supremacy from Shakespeare. Marxism is a form of white supremacy. Marxism is what is being practiced by Antifa, the people burning down our cities. Marxism is what sets and moves the mentality and minds of a lot of these terrorists. These natural domestic terrorists are following Marxism. Are you kidding me? So you don't want to talk about this white supremacy, but we're gonna encourage our kids to study. We're gonna talk about critical race theory, which is a form of Marxism. Critical race theory and this wokeness is a form of supremacy. It may be black supremacy, it may be white supremacy. It is elitism and violence at all costs till I get my way. That is the Dark Ages. It's a form of barbarianism. What we watched from the left, see, y'all fixated on the Capitol, and I'm sitting there saying, how did you turn a blind eye to the cities that burned over the summer? In the name of George Floyd, Marxism is what burned and looted our cities. But if you don't study history, if you keep studying underwater basket weaving and basically gender studies of three-legged frogs in the Amazon jungle, you'll never get a chance to really spend time in real history. Yes, I'm I'm really troubled that there are some teachers who never should don a classroom. There are some teachers who should never don a classroom because they have been programmed via Marxism, Marxist ideology that is willing to actually, this whole mentality of I'm willing to accept collateral damage. I'm willing to accept people dying if I can get a better result that helps the greater population. You should be in a classroom, baby. That education degree means diddly squat if you lack the compassion, compassion and common sense that makes us humans and even a civilization. Shakespeare is a white supremacist. Yes, Tim, they're implementing Saul Alinsky's rules, which is nothing but Marxism, communism, fascism, totalitarianism. We are in the dark ages right now where we say good is bad and bad is good. To sit here, I don't excuse any lives that were hurt or damaged in the process of the Capitol debacle. Okay? Because y'all you don't have the right to use the word Capitol riots to me when you remain silent to the rioting that took place over the summer. You have no right when you sat there and you justified Chaz chop zones, you justified protesting in neighborhoods, not on business streets, but no justice, no peace. Black Lives Matter, going through neighborhoods of people. You're not allowed to. The law doesn't permit you to go through. You can have your demonstrations, but you can't go through neighborhoods where people are trying to sleep. You have Antifa, you have Black Lives Matter. They're going through these communities. You know it's happening, but you want to be, let's go Black Power, and we as white people need to apologize for our existence and our oppression against Black people. You kidding me? You're living in the dark ages if you think Black Lives Matter is a fruitful movement of making things right for Black people. You are living in the dark ages if you think that Antifa and their lives of chaos is something that'll actually unite America. Do you not realize that this is the brown shirts mentality, Gestapo mentality has been used by socialists, quote unquote, around the country, around the world to basically domineer the society. And guess what now? Our new president, Joe Biden, President number 46, is now entertaining the language of common sense gun control. But you're living in the dark ages if you keep thinking that we can implement gun control laws. We can take away people's right to speak. We can take away people's right to defend themselves. We can take away people's right to actually enjoy themselves in the confines of their homes. I remember in 1986, in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, that you had the members of the LGBT community saying, it's my house, my room, my love. I can do whatever I want to. It's my house. So what happens is, instead of actually keeping everything in our homes because of the fact that we want our own privacies to be respected, everybody's doing everything out on Front Street, and now you have to embrace this. So why doesn't that same law applies? That is my body, my choice, my love. So if we can love people of a different sex, we can love animals, we can love whatever we want to. Let someone have their love with their own firearms and let them be merry. Hey, right now we have people with dolls, animated dolls, who are sitting there, and this is a new form of love that must be embraced. So then, you know what? I'm talking. Then there's gun love, LGBTQSG, GA, guns and ammo. This whole idea that we let everybody be free to love whoever they want to. So you know what? Those people who want to love their AR-15s, leave them alone. Because if you could sit there and say that you have a right to love and choose and live whatever way you want to, you have no right to sit there and support laws that would take that right away from other individuals. You don't want people to take away abortion, right? So then why in the world would you sit there and allow people to lose their right to say whatever they want to be censored on big tech, to be censored by the government, to be losing their rights to defend themselves? Oh, well, we're trying to reduce gun crimes. Guess what? It's not the law-abiding citizens who are going to be affected by... listen. The law-abiding citizens have been obeying the law. The law-abiding citizens have been responsible with their firearms. It's the criminals who keep getting put back out on the street by the Democrats who put the lax laws that says that they should not be in there for petty crimes. You're living in the dark ages. You are literally living in a strong delusion if you keep believing that more laws, the laws that you didn't want restricting your freedoms, but it's okay to restrict other people's freedoms, are okay. And sometimes that restriction of freedom even happens when you turn around and you try and take what other people have worked for. Let's go to a strong delusion. Unapologetic Governor Mario. Unapologetic Cuomo blames toxic politics on the nursing home deaths. Instead of basically saying, I lied, he's saying toxic politics made this stuff happen. Last year, when those people were dying and we told you, you said, you conspiracy theorists, no, those the bodies that those machines were digging up in on the island and hiding all those bodies. Those weren't COVID deaths. Oh, no. It's not. It's only they've only told us. Yeah, even in China, only told us only 4,000 people died from COVID. The same people, get this, the same people who told us only 3,000 to 4,000 people died in New York is the same media that says only 3,000 to 5,000 people died in China, in Wuhan. We know the numbers are upwards of millions of people who died in China from Wuhan. They have enough people in that country to farm in people from other cities and repopulate Wuhan after they have incinerated all the infected. Media didn't just give him a pass, Kathy. The media gave Cuomo an award for what he did, his debacle on causing the lives of, and it's not even 12,000. I bet that number's closer to 20 to 30,000 people died in nursing homes because of Cuomo's negligence. He sent the infected there. But y'all keep putting the numbers, any number that anyone who died in Democrat cities and Democrat states, subtract that number from this 400,000 and we'll maybe say that Donald Trump was responsible for that. But I know at least 12 to 20 to 30,000 in New York that should not be put on Donald Trump's shoulder. But they kept building up the numbers because many of you want to sit there and believe the lie. You want to get wrapped up in the hype and the deceptions rather than waking up and recognizing you've been manipulated for so long. Yes, look at this. Lincoln Projects. I saw this. This was really amazing. Lincoln Projects, the anti-Trump movement that wanted to sit there and expose all these different things. And we come to find out, even in the midst of this great program providing enlightenment to Orange Man Bad, their very leaders, the very people who sought out to expose Donald Trump, are being exposed themselves. See, that strong delusion basically says, I can carry on behavior but accuse you of what I'm doing. I will project my behavior. Get this. I'll project my behavior, my wrongdoings on you, as long as no one is paying attention to me. And for so long, they got away with it. And now the truth is coming out. Remember the Me Too movement? That was Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, all the other different people. We don't talk about Matt Lauer anymore. Why is that? I bet you within 10 years, Matt Lauer will be back out on the scene and people will have forgiveness for him. They will forgive Matt Lauer of his raping of women faster than they will forgive Bill Cosby. They will forgive the Hollywood darlings. Look how quick Ellen has been forgiven. Dark ages. You can't live in that kind of situation. Donald Trump is such a barbarian and he's so horrific and he creates the worst environments. No one wanted to work at the White House. There's so much turnover because of everything that's going on here. I felt oppressed. I felt that I couldn't think. I couldn't breathe under Donald Trump. Same thing happening during Ellen DeGeneres. But we can't let America's darling. We can't let the poster child for the LGBTQ community actually suffer any blemishes. We're going to forgive her and let her have her slow rise back into the graces of American public. You're living in a strong delusion if you can hold certain people to one standard that you don't want to. You don't want to forgive Donald Trump. You don't want to forgive conservatives. You don't want to forgive Christians. You want to hold all people to these moral standards that you don't want to listen to yourselves. You are living in the dark ages. Your mind is blind. What is it the Word of God says? That they have been blinded by the God of this world. The God of this world is not the God who created the God, our God, Almighty God, who created everything seen and unseen. No, God has allowed Satan to be temporary steward of this planet. And he is basically running amok with the minds, hearts, and affections of countless people who let their emotions rule the day and drive their way of thinking and living. We're finding that there was a lot of things going on in the Lincoln Project. Get ready, folks. Y'all keep thinking you are vanguards for holiness, truth, and justice. What was it? The Black Lives Matter movement, that billions and billions of dollars was given to them, but no one knew exactly where it went. Let's go to another thing. Hey, ABC. Now, see, you know it's bad when the left is turning on themselves. ABC is slammed because of Claudia Conway's American Idol audition. They set this thing up as America's darling who hated her mother, who supported Trump, and spent 2 segments on Claudia Conway. Set this thing up like it's just like, oh, look at this resurrection. Look, someone who was under the oppression of Donald Trump. Look how we recover and we survive in the midst of this. People are done with the play acting. They're done with the over-dramatization of people's lives suffering from all things MAGA. Because we know that there's all things You're nothing but all things caca. Wow. Oh, I gotta move away. Oh, here's I leave. Yeah, just go read the thing about Claudia Conway's drama queen. I just wanted a way to get away from the drama. Then stop the TikTok videos attacking your mother and Donald Trump. That's how you avoid the drama. Oh, TikTok users slammed for spraying Gorilla Glue in her hair because we've got to do these challenges. We got to do these insanes. Listen, I'm done with all the dumb stuff. Let's go to the attitude of gratitude. Parler is back. I can't log in with my accounts, but Parler is back. This is the slow rise out of the dark ages, where that freedom of speech Jesus says, if you be silent, even these rocks will cry out to who I am. Trust me, the truth is coming out. Be on the side of telling the truth, not spinning it. Be on the side of telling the truth, not spinning it, because a strong delusion is affecting far too many lives. Folks, I'm your host, Watson Bernier for Battle4Freedom. Brad Staggs and Daily Mojo's up next. Take care. God bless. Arrivederci. Hasta la vista. Let's see. Adios, amigos. And so much more.